fellas, we are going to be talking about to never ever do this around women to try to get her. So maybe your end goal is to actually have her, but ultimately is trying to get her in public. This is the video where you guys should know after this, you shouldn't have to feel afraid to make a first approach, or kind of like your choices would make more sense to do this instead of what maybe you were doing before. But ultimately, like, you're gonna discover what works when you're trying to get women. And so in public specifically, you're gonna have to change certain things, and it's gonna be like, you don't want to maybe, or it's not gonna seem like it's gonna help. But when you see women actually enjoying it and wanting more from you, you gotta take advantage. Okay, so please give this video a big thumbs up, and so we can go ahead and get started. And don't forget to check out everything that is down below. But first thing, which is a big thing, which is the whole thing of this video, so it's a discussion, but like, first things first, like I said, make the same moves twice. What are you doing? So if you're trying to get a woman to be into your life, into you, to be more exact, you can't try to make the same moves twice, as in it's gonna work the second time that you try to do it. So unfortunately, for a lot of you fellas, it doesn't work the first time. You guys might make a move where, you would think that, well, I did every single step and it would make sense. But if you don't get, and here's the thing, if you listen until the end, if you do not get the response of she wants you, and then even if she's not trying, that speaks volume, but y'all won't get nothing else, and will dismiss the fact that she didn't even give you a hint. Women don't even give hints in general. So overall, when she tells you clearly that she's not wanting more or is not interested because of the way you approached her, it's going to fall back into the category of how much did you do? Why did you? And this is the bigger question. Why did you do it again? So when you go ahead and make that second move, third move, and for some fellas, fifth, I jumped forward to say fifth, to say sixth as well, or seventh. Sometimes you guys are just so ready to go with these moves where you want to keep trying. So why do you guys think that like trying over and over again is gonna ultimately end up getting her? There's kind of almost no way when you realize the first time it didn't. Now, I could understand, yes, we know purpose and status, all these things can apply to your life and make you become more high value, but you gotta also consider, you sent out a message. Are you trying to send her a message that doesn't have to be kind of clarified? As in, y'all want a woman to know you do this, you have this to offer, but it's all based on wanting her. So whatever woman you're seeking, you're looking at, and you're wanting out there, you want this type of validation from her as well, because you are technically giving it to her. So you wanted this type of validation. You can't expect that. Forcing any type of other actions or being some other type of person, as in more loving, or you know what, I gotta take this other move when it doesn't really work, but I seen it work for somebody else. For you guys, it's like taking that and doing all that. Y'all are taking that type of route instead, when realizing how could it and why would it work for her when she never really liked you. So forcing yourself on top of it is making it worse. When you have a woman that you want, you have interest towards, to make it clear to her, come back and do things, double do things, do it twice. It's only showing your desperation as a man. Whether you feel like, you know what, I'm not giving her so much, I'm actually not trying so hard. That doesn't matter, because you're still doing it. And that is the whole point. So once again, if we make things happen, you as a fella, you make things happen again, you're trying to send out a message. And that's what you already know yourself. If you're trying to send out a message based on your actions to a woman, that you want her to look your way, if she's not completely seeing something in you already, or there's potential, there's no way she's looking at you, especially twice, especially again. So you gotta have a woman basically end up wanting you because she's noticing it. Because if you, and this is rare, super, super rare, if you sent out a message of, this is how I am, this is who I am, all types of things about you, and then, kind of giving her attention somewhat, You're sending a message of something that's going to work for her, but it's going to send the message of you have this completely, but you're not trying extremely too hard. So it's like you display yourself as a man of who you are based on what you are. Sometimes you fellas, and I know this sounds so sad, but this is what we have to move on to. Sometimes you fellas don't have nothing to actually give, nothing to actually have this woman want to come back to. You can work hard to have money and status, but that's not going to mean extremely everything. Especially if you worked hard to get to a point where it's making you a great living, but it's not reaching her expectations. Y'all got to get that woman as they go up. I'm not even talking about expectations where, this woman, normally expects this and that. I'm talking now as women wanting to go up, moving up. And this is happening all the time in the modern day. As women are wanting to elevate, level up, get to that growth of being the full, and it's not even about feminism, feminist, all that type of stuff is dismissed. It's just women wanting to reach that full potential in their life. Women fully taking advantage of it. As that's going on, as they're wanting to reach that, it's like dismissing a man is easier, and it's done that way only because they can only depend on themselves, or they are depending on themselves. Whether a man is there or not, women are realizing what they could do to get to the top. But ultimately, your goal is really to come back into her life only to show her that, well, if you do get to the top, you're going to want this and it's going to come back to me. And also could be, well, you could not, or maybe she couldn't, but I'm here as you, as the man, you're here for her. And you're showing her, well, I could be someone that could help you. Another way it could be is like, well, I'm here for you. I don't care about what people said, or I don't care what you're about, or also I'll let you figure out things, but if you don't want it, I'm not here for it. So it's all about you giving her chance. Sometimes some women need a chance. Also, like I've said in other videos, it's the opportunities that women could give you, but now you're giving her the opportunity. You guys got to open those doors, as in flex what you could give. Be flexible, as in you have options. You have ultimatums. You have, I'm going to go this route. You have, well, this is an option. Obviously, I always tell you guys, stick to yourself where you want it to lead to you, where, of course, your first pick is you. But you also need to understand that the world revolves around not you, but it could possibly revolve around you, as in you make the correct decisions to impact your life in a good way. So depending on the type of woman you bring into your life, depending on the type of woman you entertain, it's going to ultimately lead right back to your life, right? So the last things, because we're getting to the end of the video, to wrap up about never making the move twice, you're not forcing yourself once again, but you're definitely not sending out a message to this woman that you have to try for her. Sometimes some fellas, let me say this again. Sometimes, and I really want to say a lot, but let me stick to sometimes some fellas want to send this message out because they don't think that it was clearly sent out. If you make that move twice, you're sending the message of you're desperately, or you want her. So it's like, yes, the first time we got it, but it's also, okay, you got to double send it. Now, I'm not talking about triple, the crazier guys, and y'all might think like, well, triple is not that bad. Okay, we'll leave it at that. But realistically, when you get to this double point, and we're not talking about the extras of trying over and over again to your fourth, fifth time, overall, when you're getting to this point of trying more than once, you're sending a message of you do not know what you can have also. So you can not know if you could have it. You can have uncertainty as a man, as in, you don't know. She looks good, maybe, whatever. But also it's going to be like, there's no guarantee. There's almost nothing on your end that's giving you enough comfortability as a man to keep pursuing her. And that's going to be where it ends up at. Like, women are not going to stop where you guys don't feel like you're comfortable enough. Women are not going to stop where, let's say it like this, because you feel like she's doing it wrong, or she should adjust it completely maybe as well. she's not going to stop at that because you said it. Because now it's what you want. So I'm saying you fellas have to stick to what you want from the jump. What you exactly want in a woman, she's gonna ultimately tell you she wants it or not, but you want her to do it in the beginning. Because this is the fellas that don't care if she tells her, I don't want a man like that. I don't need a man like that. You never want to adjust yourself where it's like changing yourself for that specific woman. You never want to do basically things where you have to become a man that you can't completely be long term because this woman is so needy, because she expects and is asking for this. It's fun and it's nice and it's lovely. It's cool when you can get her and you can have her and she stays around. But it's not worth it when it's all for the wrong reasons. And so it's like getting her to get you to this place isn't you. You can have a woman on the positive side get you to that place because she's definitely about you. She definitely wants to see that out of you. But you can't get confused where you think that the woman that is supposed to is not doing it when she's not. All right, so ultimately, you fellas always got to stay in line with your feelings, which you should as a man overall. But really, to wrap up, you can't try to give her clear signs over and over again. You don't have to do nothing. You don't have to do nothing that you try to do to get out again and again to try to get something out. So once again, the message that you can send to a woman, you're going to have to expect that the actions that you have, what's going to be happening afterwards is what you could live up to. And a lot of fellas don't know what they're signing up to. Literally, sometimes y'all, not literally obviously, but sometimes y'all know you're dealing with this type of woman. You know what she's about. So sometimes y'all, and then for obviously the fellas that don't and actually just look at her beauty and think so good of her or think there's possibility, that's one thing, of course, or one huge thing, right? But y'all still don't know what you're getting into. Let's say it like that. That makes more sense. Because you still get so involved but don't know how to act. And this is how we'll finish out the video to make it so clear and simple. What do you think all the fellas out there that deal with these women are doing that understand that, man, if I get so involved with my feelings because I like her and not knowing what she's about and not knowing what I like or what I'm about into this, I'm going to get lost. I'm going to keep going back. I'm going to be about her over and over again. So let me go back to you fellas. Y'all are going to get caught up, sign a contract where you don't even really know that you're doing, but you know because you like her, but you don't care. You're not thinking about the consequences. So y'all are going to sign a contract with her, get involved with her, be a part of her, commit to her. That's other words, real realistic, and end up getting your heart broken at the end simply because you didn't understand that you could be involved with her, but you don't have to be a part of a whole commitment where she needs you to do this and you can only do this to be a part of her. How about a type of commitment or things can change around where you tell her, well, I'm only about this and it was from the jump. So fellas, it's only going to work for you guys if you're doing it because you are about it. And then also you're doing it at the time it was supposed to be done. Don't fake yourself for a woman and don't act like you're this type of guy if you're not. If it takes more time, if you have to spend years, I'm sorry, it sounds bad, but years, hopefully it's months, where you have to develop and understand what it is that you want and how to go about it, do that. But never get under a woman's wing. Let me say that. Get under her telling you, you got to. It has to be done like this. So you will have a lot of women try to tell you how to feel. Or tell you, you gotta do this, or you shouldn't have this, or, you know, I will never deal with a guy like this because he did this and all these type of things that kind of fall into like, well, it still doesn't matter because you can be somebody else. So, fellas, I'm going to leave this video at it's your choices that you make. You can control the situations by not looking so desperate. You can control the situations by not going up to that woman in public again and again or over because you want her and you had to do it twice because you didn't get the answer the first time. So a lot of times you guys might think that it's kind of like the most sense. It might make sense to do it, but it's not. So read between the lines, but most definitely the response that you get, it's going to tell you a lot. Get back to you and who you are as a man, and then understanding that You can't keep trying when it doesn't make sense to. But leave it at where it's at. Your efforts are going to be shown. Like, it's going to be out there. She's going to see it. It's just really about what type of situations you're in. If it's meant to be done this way, if it's actually going to work that way. Okay, so I'm going to leave this video out this. I really want to still keep going. Y'all know I love to elaborate and talk, but we got to wrap it up. If you haven't already given this video a big thumbs up, though, please go ahead and do so. And check out everything that is down below on my links. And yeah, you guys will see me in my next video. Bye, you guys.